Hi, my name is Sarah Bentley Pearson, and I am excited to share my podcast, which features wonderful talent that I've been so lucky to discover in the Southeast. This was born out of a list that I created in 2015 called Sarah's List. And through my work in real estate, which I've been doing since 2005, and styling work, and just my personal life and my personal interests, I've been able to meet so many wonderful people, and I'm excited to share them with you.
I met you at an open house,
Yes.
and the girl that you brought with you uh, was going to school with my son. And I have to say this from a really warm heart. You were really good at like advising me. I was telling you a little. He was playing basketball, and you were like, "You need to do this with your son." And my son is doing great, and always has been. I'm sure I'm like most moms. I love my son with everything, but I really took to you for that. And I met you, Calvin, I guess with you guys together just at Whole Foods. Not this time. I met you once before together, but you all have such an interesting story, just everything that you've done. And it seems like it's always been done together. And I'm so curious, what is it like to be a twin?
That is a hard question because it's a day to day life thing. It's just like it's a
No, no,
tricky
no, no,
question.
no, no.
Is
Mind
it a
you,
gift, though? It feels like it would be a gift.
it is been described. Yes, it is definitely a gift because someone sent us something the other day that actually this is like being a twin is like magical, and you're very lucky. In some countries, if you're a twin, they just gift you. They give it, especially in Haiti. The girl, she's from Haiti, and she sent me this long thing about being a twin is some kind of magical gift. And then we look at it because the reason why we dress the way we do now is that we own a business together, and this is actual our uniform. So we playing on a team. So don't nobody think that sometimes we dress alike for a promotional thing because that's a great marketing tool. And then sometimes, he would call me and say, "What you wearing?" To
Yeah,
make sure that I'm not wearing the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so sometimes it's hard to find your individuality in it.
Now we actually sometimes we don't live together,
Uh,
so we will meet up and we'll have the same
Same
thing
thing
on
on.
without even talking.
Oh,
I'll be like,
that's
and I'll be
wild.
like,
Yeah,
damn, should I go change clothes or something? Change a
yeah.
jacket, something. That's why I would call him and say, "Hey, what are you putting on?" Now, like today, this is our uniform. Like we would dress accordingly to our jackets in the sense of a color coordination. But any other time that we're not in uniform, I have to call him and say because we have the same clothes. So whatever you see that I have, whatever you see on me, he has the same identical thing from watches to, except for a ring. I'm married and he's not. Um, but we have the same identical things, but we have to check with each other. Like, so what are you putting on? And he'll tell me, and then I'll be like, okay. In my mind, I'll get ready to put on the same thing. So I would have to redirect my whole thing, like putting on a
But
different.
like because I'm very like with my dressing, people say to me, "What are you going to wear to this party?" And I'm like, "I don't know." It's
Mhm.
very emotional. Like, what am I feeling in the
For
moment?
women, is that hard?
Well, some people are
Yeah.
planners and have it all planned
Yeah.
out. I happen to like dressing's very emotional for me. Um,
You
but
every time you always dress nice.
oh, thank you.
You be
Always.
well put together, so
But I'm saying it's something like you two, like, are you planners or I'm trying to get at, do you guys think like, are you like spiritually inside, like being, is it like having two of the exact same people? Well, you're married and he's not, so there might be some differences.
yeah, big difference.
I tried
You
several
tried?
times.
I'm
Several
on my
times.
third one, so I don't
Oh,
know.
you're on. Well,
Yeah.
I'm the third to my husband.
Mhm.
He's my second.
Mhm.
And I said to him when we were dating, and he said, "Well, we should get married." And I was like, "Why? You clearly don't have a good track record."
Shouldn't he have said that to you too?
Well, I'd been married once.
Oh,
You've been
okay.
married
So
once.
this is your second one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just like a lot of times we're all in water, but then it kind of goes back around because even in a lot of things we offset each other. I think he's more aggressive. I'm more passive aggressive, but then it'll flip. Then I'm more aggressive, and he's more, you know.
I'm never gonna be passive aggressive.
So you're like assets to each other in business.
Yeah, we still fight like what?
Brothers would.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, especially business wise, personal, two different ball games. And but business wise, we sit down and we try to strategize, which is the best way. And then a lot of times we'll play good cop, bad cop. And
I'll try to. I'll be telling him, but sometimes when we talking to somebody, and if I disagree, I'm looking at him like, oh.
No, that's you.
No, because
he's the Larry David show. He's seen Larry David.
Yeah, I love Larry.
And Larry won't be quiet. and if we're in a meeting and he's like rambling, the code word is Larry, and he knows that he's rambling.
In the sense of me trying to, because a lot of people don't get the picture, so you have to paint a portrait.
Mm.
I wish it was so easy to say like yes, no inside of a conversation and people grasp onto it. But a lot of people don't. So you got to say, okay, I got to start from the beginning and paint everything so you can fully see it. And then
I think they come territorial too, because I hate to say it, us born in Georgia, but we lived in LA, lived in Tokyo. And these are cities, even though Georgia has 9 million, close to 9 million people in Atlanta.
I think it's closer to 7 or 8, actually. They've been
7.
trying to say we're going to 10, but I don't think.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Yeah.
It said something like 10. But it might be 10 because a lot of people are undocumented.
Maybe.
People moved here and they still hadn't changed to, I'm a Atlanta,
that's true.
License or whatever. So, but Atlanta has still a town mentality. Everything here, from us living abroad and living out in LA, everything here is, I'll do it tomorrow. Everything said, you ask somebody something, and say, well, I'll get to it tomorrow. And when we used to live in Tokyo time frame is one day ahead of,
So that's in their mentality, actually, to kind of speed it up or slow it down.
No, wait. We were having a meeting with a guy in Tokyo. And somebody told him that they'll do it tomorrow. And he looked at them in their face. He said, Tokyo is a day ahead of the United States. Your tomorrow is my yesterday. So what that meaning is, what you're going to do tomorrow, somebody else can do it now. Because to me, that's my yesterday. And now you got to catch up double time to even get the business deal done. So he and I are real savvy on business because we got 3 rules. Yeah. We too savvy around here. We got 3 rules. 30 minutes, 3 hours, or 3 days. And if nobody does nothing by then, they're not going to do jack crap. I wish I could use my Japanese words. But
use your Japanese words.
Everybody around here think that there's a tomorrow.
He just said he was talking about use this so-called French.
French.
Actually,
cuss words.
No, and I think that's always the struggle in business. People can have a good idea, but executing is just a whole different talent.
Well, a lot of people don't execute in Atlanta. A lot of people just want to be nosy and they come up and say, hey, I can do this, I can do that. But in actuality, they just want to play a game and just feel important and just try to say something stupid.
I'm talking about with you being in real estate, it's amazing because when we bought our places, we walked in, assessed the situation, and didn't want to make a hasty decision, did our research. In less than 3 days, and
it was gone.
No, less than 3 days. I said how much, and I went and got the cashier's check.
You had the availability to do it, but in the sense of just being able to move, even if it's on a big scale or a small scale, even on a bigger scale, some of the things that we don't know how to. I think we're too stupid to be afraid. Too stupid to be scared. So, like right now, if we had an inkling idea that we can make lipsticks for chickens, it would be like, okay, let's do it. Let's try it. Like, instead of just like saying, now sometimes I come with the pros and cons because I have to kind of like I try to waver it out. And then when I come with the pros and cons, he'll get mad. I said, no, I'm just trying to position ourselves to actually do it because we have this. It's this fictional character of one of our best shows. I even have to go get a refresher, like once a week, once every 2 weeks. You seen Billions?
Yeah, the series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Axel
He's a badass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to live with him, but yeah.
Axe is like the quintessential guy. Because of his thought process and the level that he thinks. Some things were getting kind of stupid because he was just creating problems in a sense.
See, this is where he and I differ because I don't want to live with that energy that somebody's always coming at you and you got to solve something.
But
every day somebody coming trying to tear you down.
But we live in that world.
Yeah, I'm more on trying to build something without creating a problem because with us being in business, okay, we started from musician, from the music industry. We were born in Macon, Georgia. And when we grew up in Macon, there was no public transportation. And if you had to get somewhere, you had to walk or had your parents take you somewhere until you got downtown. And when you got downtown, that was the only time you could catch the bus. So country guys, growing up in Macon, walking dirt roads, it's just like some Mississippi blues kind of situation. So,
well, I wanted to ask you about that because I'm completely fascinated that you lived in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And how long were you living there?
4 years.
4 years.
And what was it like? Did you love it?
Love it.
Yeah, I hear the efficiency and just the attention to detail is like no other.
Yes, that's the reason why. Well, we was always taught that from our parents, because my mom, this morning, she said that in November, I think November 3rd, they would have been married 70 years. November 3rd. I said, damn, I can't even been with somebody I know 7 weeks. So they got 70 years coming up. But living in Japan, our parents always taught us to work hard. And if you do what you say and say what you're going to do. So when we moved to Japan, Japan has a honor system when we were living in Japan.
It's not so.
So.
In the sense of what business is, it's still cutthroat. But in Japan, like you said, everything is regimented. Everything is
synchronized.
Yeah, it's definitely synchronized. Out of the population.
What do you mean that it's synchronized?
Because out of the mass population, no train is late. Nobody's late for work. Like we feel bad in the sense of our time. We really feel bad in the sense.
Because when I called you, I thought it was 11, and I was at Waffle House, and I called you like almost 10:30.
All good. You all good?
No, but it's a
no, but I'm with you.
It's disrespectful.
Something I'm trying to really work with my son about because I'm like, you don't need to be the smartest guy in the room. You don't need to be this. You don't need to be that. But if you're late, people remember that.
But it's an oxymoron, though, in the sense of with the United States, because when you're on time, the opposition or the other person feel like you're desperate. In Japan, it's an honor system. If you're late, they would tell you, if you're 5 or 10 minutes late, they'll be like, it's no meeting.
They won't deal with you no more.
I think that's bullshit. I think in America, if you're late, people notice.
But isn't that silly?
I don't think people think, oh, you're so busy because maybe at a party, because I grew up in Germany, and in Germany, they, for everything starts early, and if it's 6:30, it used to annoy my mom to no end that somebody would be at her door at 6:25. and they'd be there, and that seemed
That's-
like stupid. And in America, showing up a half an hour late to a party or even an hour is okay. That's
kind of-
fine.
Yeah, for the
But
fashion related.
business, no, I don't think so. I think in business, especially the business that I'm in, is I'm in the service business. You know, when you're selling houses, you're servicing people and people's time, especially the area that I work in, which is luxury. These people are busy, and so I think it's my husband is somebody who is like obnoxiously early. But I think he's at the top of his game, and I think that he is at the top of his game, probably just from little things like that.
Yeah, and I saying like with us, because we've been to some meetings, not saying like you're half hour or whatever late, but if you like on time, because we like, it's just like catching a flight out of the country or
Right.
coming back into the country.
Right.
You don't say, I got time, when I get to the airport, it's gonna be all right. And you get there and have to go through customs and everything else, and then you find
I used to
yourself-
hate traveling with women. Some women I dated.
Oh, that were always late.
Yeah, because
That's
they'll look at it
rude.
and say, "Oh, we're only 20 minutes away." I said, "This is Atlanta. You don't know what the hell you're doing."
Exactly. But
You don't-
even